the young women's preparedness for global impact.
Young women should come up in the political
Space, right?
space. Yes, look at the deputy governor of Akwa Ibom State.
Dr. Kuniyan.
Yes, she's my role model.
Wow.
Like, if you want to look at her from the scratch, I don't know her, not from our place, but she started as a teacher.
Well, it's not about the position,
Absolutely.
right? I'm not a positional leader because I've always believed that it's not the office that makes the man, but the man that makes the office. There's this thing, when you're in a space, people will say when you're in a space with females, always expect a fight. Well, I'm just using this opportunity to say to every female, rise up. That vice presidential position, they did not swear for you with it, right? Rise up and take the top job. If your sister is a woman, when she finishes university, allow her to pursue her dreams. Don't tell her to go and get married. Mommy and daddy, don't tell her when she's bringing man. She will bring man when she's ready. I think I've said quite enough. Thank you.
With the current situation of things in the world today, are the young women prepared to create lasting impact in our societies? Or is it even a concern for them to bring lasting impact to their own environment? Welcome. This is Uproot the Issue podcast, reaching you this very hour, a self-growth, family life, and development podcast that seeks in-depth truth behind every issue bothering people in the society to provide knowledge as insight. And in our today's episode, we will be discussing on the young women's preparedness for global impact. Global impact. Are the young women prepared? Always on the track of serving you is your host, Ekemini Ekwere. And of course, I'm so delighted in the room. I have two amazing ladies. One is the project manager at Selfless for Africa. She's also the ambassador of World Literacy Foundation. Her Excellency, Nature Ibora Edit, and a mass communication expert. She's also a journalist who couples as the president of Postgraduate Students Union, University of Uyo, Comrade Etimbok Idiom. Good to have you guys around.
Yeah, good
Thank
to be
you.
here. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Kamini. We are glad.
Thank you. So we are starting the conversation, and Excellency, I will move to you. What do you give as a definition to global impact? What does it really entail?
Oh, thank you very much, Ikemini. So, I think it was Tunde. I don't get his surname, but the Guinness World Record holder for the chess marathon. I'm not sure if he's been confirmed yet. That said, that big things, great things can be done from small places. And for me, I think that global impact is not necessarily you being on the United Nations stage, right, physically. Global impact for me would be doing small things in your own space that can have a ripple effect on the greater community. I am keen on telling young people to create solutions, localized solutions that can be globalized. So oftentimes you'd hear me say it is important to to globalize rather local solutions. For me, that is what global impact is. That solution that you're creating in your own environment, from your own space, in your church, in school, in your business, as a young person, as a young woman, right, is what can be replicated. How does that have an effect on the environment? How does that have an effect on, other people, other women all around the world? Your character in itself has something to do with, because a woman can do something, right, in her own space, in her own church, and the next thing, it is being generalized. So global impact is not you leaving your country per se, is not you traveling all around the world. It is what you do in your local space, your small space, just from where you are, that can inadvertently affect the generality of womanhood, the world, and of course, every person around you. That, for me, is global impact.
All right, thank you very much. So, Comrade Etimbok Idiom, looking at our society today, I believe we have loopholes, we have a whole lot of gaps. So, can you share with us those gaps in our society that women, young women, are capable of filling?
Okay, I think young women should come up in the political
Space, right?
space, yes. And also, I think there is limited access to education in which young women should get into study. There are some courses in the university that you see that the men dominate, just like the electrical and
Joining
electronics.
engineering,
Yeah,
surveying, yeah.
yeah. And you see the few ladies or women that are there, they are really, really doing so well. So I think if the young women come up in these other sectors, they could fill up. And I want to thank the governor of Akwa Ibom State on what he has done, in which he has really encouraged the women folks to come into the political space. Yeah, by I think the form for the councillorship election was actually free.
Wow.
So I think that alone encourages the women that they should not have fear, or they should not have this imposter syndrome, but they should come in to the political space.
Okay, so what's in your own way, how do you see global impact, especially in the likes of young women like you?
Okay, I think global impact, just like the co-guest said, she said all. It has to do with a significant consequence. What do you do to stand out from others, creating a positive trend for yourself? Not necessarily a globalized thing, but in your locality, in your own space. What do you do significant? Because I can remember when I inspired for this position that I am, I was greatly discouraged.
Okay, why?
Yeah, going for consultation, some persons will tell me that this position is for men, that is only the men
That could man the position.
exactly of the president of the union.
Okay.
That I should rather go for the vice president or the secretary. And then I told them no. Even when I was offered so many things, I said no, let me get to the field and then lose, and I'll go happily and work with the winner.
Of course.
Yes. So I think what you can do in the church, in your community, even in the family. Some women, in some families, you see that the women are outstandingly different. They do things excellently well, more than the men. So that's what I will feel, that's global. Even if you are doing a palm oil business or whatever in the village, but you do it and you are able to feed yourself, your family, or the people around you, cater for yourself and your family, I think that is what I believe. It's a global impact.
Okay, so we are when she shared the experience of canvassing the whole hot she
political
experience
thing.
in the field. I quickly remembered sometime in 2022, you canvassed. I think you were the only female
Exactly.
candidate that faced over 4 guys in the tournament. I was
No,
like,
they were not
what?
4. I doubt they were 4. I think we had well over 8 presidential aspirants, and I was just the only female.
only
And what
female.
happened?
The
You
SUG
won.
election that
You
did
were- I
not
think
hold.
Okay.
didn't
There was a
hold that.
time we had, I think 2022,
2022,
2023,
yeah.
we
That
had
was
no
fine.
SUG, we had no union leaders.
Union,
Oh,
yeah.
I don't know
in
if
the
you're aware.
school.
Yes, for
Yes,
straight
I
one.
was. That was the set I came out to contest. So when you were speaking, I could just relate with the things
What happened?
you went through, because
sure.
that period. I mean, a lot of persons will call me. Why not go for vice
Yeah.
president? You will be fantastic support. I'm like, wow. Okay. Another person will call me. Why not go for Sec Jane? I mean, you're doing fantastic. I'm like, well, it's not about the position,
Absolutely.
right? I'm not a positional leader,
Okay.
because I've always believed that it's not the office that makes the man, but the man that
Absolutely.
makes the office. So I said I have my reasons for going for the office of the president. It's not to prove a point that first female president thing,
thing,
right?
yeah.
I know I have the capacity. I know I have what it takes. I have my agenda. I have my goals. Hear me out. So when I was going for in my consultations, people will often advise, when you're going to hostels, sell that first female president thing to them. I'm like, no way. I have my agenda. I have my goals.
Your manifesto.
Yes, my
Manifesto.
manifesto, right? I'm going to serve the people. I feel like they should hear what I have to bring to the table. We are now talking about tables. I don't want to talk about it, right? Yeah, but then that patriarchal nature of society,
Yeah.
let's not deny it. It plays out one way or the other. Whenever any female is rising to, the top job, the president, the chairman, you often hear things like, is it chair lady?
Yes.
I think chairman should be chairman, because when God made man, he made male man, female man. I'm being religious now. Right? So during that process, I saw Shege Banza. I don't know if that's allowed here, but then I think we can be free, right? I saw Shege Banza. I cried many times. And I would wonder, why does it have to be this hard, right? Even the females, I'm not sure we're ready for that conversation. Even females, there's this why are you going for president? Why not go for vice? And then there's this another background gossip that will go like, all these female, when they now win presidency now, they'll not be talking to their fellow females. I'm like, wow. So there is a foundational root to what we are saying, right? I love the fact that, in fact, this is what I love to see. When you mentioned that she is the president of the postgraduate student union,
yes.
I was so excited, because these are the actions we want to see, right? Beyond just saying, let women come out. Let me come out. Let Comrade Etimbo come out.
Okay.
Let Itoro come out. Let Esther come out, right?
Yes.
That is what we are saying. So also, Esther, Etimbo, Nature, Ibora, when you get to this space, how do I put it now? Can we also demystify these things that have been said? Because one way or the other, in every rumor, there is an aspect of truth. There is an element of truth, right? So this thing they say about women getting to the top job and, looking down on their fellow females, there is somewhat element of truth. There is this thing, when you're in a space, people will say, when you're in a space with females, always expect a fight. Well, yes.
There is, but it depends on the individual.
I agree with you, absolutely. Yeah. But we will not deny the fact that there is that element of truth there. So we are saying, as Comrade Ettenberg is there, try to demystify what they said. Prove to them that, yes, others may have got it wrong, but I am here as Ettenberg. So it is not about the gender now. It is about the person, just like you said. So if Sandra went to the seat and looked down on other female folks, I am Ettenberg. I will not look down on other female folks. So when next another person is coming up, don't use what Sandra did to judge what Emedion will do. Look at Emedion, grade her as Emedion and what she is offering, and not because her gender wants. There's a time I was in a vehicle on the road and someone drove, it was a bad driving. So the driver of the vehicle I was in said, that must be a woman. And then when we got there, it was a man saying, I thought it could have been a woman that drove that way. I'm like, hello, sir, calm down. What do you mean? Is there a particular way that women drive? Because there are also good women drivers. There are also good men drivers. So why is it that the little time you find a bad female driver, you use it as an opportunity to generalize on women? What thing we do now? Do you get? So I think your question was, what was the loophole? What would you say? And then you linked it to my SCG election. I saw things. The males discouraged me for everything a man did once. They wanted me to do twice as much. Yeah. And I want the females to rise. I may not get back to this point in the process of this conversation. I'm just using this opportunity to say to every female, rise up. That vice presidential position, they did not swear for you with it, right? Rise up and take the top job. Because even in my faculty as at then, once forms are out, every female files to the vice presidential position and they start fighting themselves over who has somebody in the person going for president, who has somebody in the ELECO. As females, why not go and contend for this faith that was handed down to you, right? So we are saying females rise up, and when you get there, don't kick down the ladder so that other females can have the opportunity to rise for the top job. Congratulations, Madam President. I'm so excited.
Okay, so Our Excellency, thank you very much. You see, I remembered, I think that was 14th November 2020, you and your team, you built a school in Eastern Obolo, a remote community, using a year and 6 days. That's for over 100 years. This community never seen an environment such as a conducive learning environment. So what really fueled, being as a young woman, I believe you had so many things, so many responsibilities, maybe personal responsibilities that time. What fueled your passion to do that to that particular community?
Thank you very much. So you just brought a Don Week is very dear to my heart. So whenever I have a conversation around a Don Week, I tend to be so excited. What fueled my passion? Number one, I am a beneficiary of education. So when I got to that community with my sister under her foundation, Remarkable Mary, I discovered that this community does not have a school. I was curious, how do the children learn? You know, in the process of having that conversation, I was told that for over 100 years plus, and this is not an exaggeration,
I'm very serious.
they
I'm
have
surprised.
not had any form of formal education. I could not believe it because, for one, this is an oil-rich community, right? So
Yeah.
why can they not have at least a school? So talking about a school, that's like just one of the many basic amenities they do not have. They don't have hospital. So I wonder how the women
could.
give birth, right? So when I did my undergraduate project, I actually focused on Edonwi maternal and child health in Edonwi because I wanted to bring their plights to light, and I intend to publish that my undergraduate work because I feel like it will bring attention to these women. So that's just one of the many. But then I understand that on the foundations of quality education rests the cornerstones of freedom and sustainable human development. So these people, what they basically do to the oil companies is that, you know, they will use traditional method. You are not working here until you give us a certain amount, and they will give them this peanut, and that's the end of
And that's
it.
the end of it.
So I knew that with education, they will know what to ask for and how to ask for it. They will insist on this is our demands, not, you know, give us money, because money will finish, and the money, they don't even know how to negotiate. And education is what brings light to any man to know how to be able to ask. So we decided that, oh, if we ever have the opportunity and the finance to fund this any project in this community, it will be a school. And of course, nature has a way with a way of aligning with our thoughts, right? And nature aligned with my thoughts as at that time, and then we were able to build that first, and it's still the first in that community. And I'm not from Edonwick, and I'd like to say this to every young person out there, that everywhere you step into, that is always my message in any community I go to, commission project or whatever, that anywhere you step into is home. I'm from Etina local government. I'm not related to Edonwick. I don't have a family friend, but I'm saying that everywhere you go is home. Find what you can do. Like I agree, right? Find what you can do from your space. I can tell you that from Edonwick, when we did Edonwick, we were not expecting awards. When we did Edonwick, we were not expecting global recognition. But as of today, we have global recognition because we started from where we are, right? So I am saying to every young person, the global stage is ready, is waiting for you. Find what you can do in your local community that can be globalized, right? What can you do to inspire someone? If I tell a community story on a global stage, will it inspire someone in India to rise up to, you know, to the challenge? That is the message. That is what we are preaching. Thank you for bringing a Donway story to your podcast.
Thank you very much. To everyone listening and viewing this right now, what you need to do, it doesn't just mean you should get to the global spot, but you need to start from your environment.
Absolutely.
Search out for that thing that is missing within your environment, and please create a solution to that problem. This conversation is spicing up as I needed it to be. And please, if you are just viewing this channel for the first time, please locate the subscription button and click on the icon. So I will move down to Comrade Timbo. You see, when I listen to Your Excellency, then I compared you people's story, and I found out that at least in one way or the other, you people are aligning in the same zeal and spirit. So I searched on the Verbs. It's a magazine, American magazine that publishes information, you know, and I discovered that of the 100 most powerful women in the world, we only have 2 Nigerians. And that is Dr. Ngozi Ogonjo-Iweala and Mo Abudu, who is the founder of Ebony Life Media. So the question is, I was just surprised. This, aside from Mo Abudu, who is just a bit young, Dr. Nkonsi is at least aging. Is it that we, the young women over here, are we not ready for global impact?
I Okay, thank you very much. We are. We are battling up, we are equipping ourselves, we are coming up. I think we have so many other persons coming up. Let me start from the entertainment industry. We have the Iniedo.
Yeah,
I know
yeah.
some persons might not really pay attention to that, but I do, in which she has done a movie in an outstanding way. And I think you are looking at the younger
We
generation.
have
Yes.
Vicky James. Let me not
Yeah,
fail to mention that.
we have in the fashion
Yeah.
industry, which is also coming up. And I think in years to come, we'll still have more. But let's look at the Ngozi
Ogonjo-Iweala,
Iweala,
doctor.
yes, of our own states, because
Absolutely.
I
That woman
believe
is.
I believe in what we have in my family, in my village, in my local government, and my state. I cherish what I have locally. Okay, let's start from the wife of the governor that has initiated or founded I think during our 57th birthday, the Jifa Golden Initiative for All project, pet project that she has done. She's doing well. She has carved a niche for herself. And also, if we want to look at the deputy governor of Akwa Ibom State.
Dr. Akonoyanyi.
Yes, she's my role model.
Wow.
Like, if you want to look at her from the scratch, I don't know her, I'm not from our place, but she started as a teacher to a supervisor in education, or supervisory in education
Role,
and
yeah.
health, something like that, in the local government, and also became a member of the educational board. Just like that, grew to become the chairman of the governing council of Akwa Ibom State Polytechnic, and then she went to the Senate. She was the Minister of Lands and Housing some times ago, and now she's the first elected deputy governor of Akwa
Akwa
Ibom
Ibom
State.
State.
Yes,
Fantastic.
yeah. When I see women grow like that, and they are so confident, I feel so encouraged. And then we've had vice chancellor in University of Uyo,
Yeah.
that was
Professor
a woman.
Comfort.
Professor Comfort.
Comfortable, yes. Let us look at our own selves. We have women that are growing, and also the
Excellency.
Michael, yeah, I guess, that is growing in the global
I mean, she has been traveling around.
exactly. So that is it. I think we are coming up. We are coming up. We just need some time, because in everything we need, we do, it's time. So I think before you know it, everywhere will just be flooded with women. And let me tell you, the women that are going to be elected, some of them as a chairman, sorry, I'm talking about politics too
Of
much.
course.
Because you're interested in leadership, you know.
This is politics.
Yes, before you know it, those women will grow and grow
And
and
grow.
grow. Yes, and then in the postgraduate program, if you want to go about the statistics, you will see that most women come in for their PGD, their masters, and their PhD. Immediately they finish their masters, they pick up a PhD form. So I think before you know it, women will come up much better. Thank you.
Okay,
Awesome,
so
awesome.
Excellency, in your own space, I've noticed you've been very experienced when it has to do with the global environment, how the world is going. So, because I feel that we have hiatus, we have gaps we've not really filled. But what are those challenges that women often face in this process of creating global impact?
Thank you very much, Ekemini. So first, let me thank Madam President for all those names she mentioned. But before I continue, let me also add that those women that are growing should not fail to bring others behind them, because that's what the men do better than us. You see, when men, yes, we have to admit these
Yeah, yeah.
things,
Sure,
right?
right.
Uprooting, what's
The
it?
issue.
Right. So when men get to the top job, They bring their men as PAs. They bring their men as ACs. They just create office just one way or the other. We call it my guy. It's bro code. When women get there, let's also have women code, right? So that when you get there, don't go and carry male PA. Also carry female.
Male PA.
What are you competing with? I can assure you, she will not collect your husband. Just carry her. No, I mean, I'm being realistic. Make sure that you bring other young ladies with you to the top job. So as you're growing, they're watching how you're doing it. So that when they get to that place, they don't make mistakes, right? Teach them how to go for consultations. You know, when I was going for my own SUG, I reached out to females. But the way and manner they responded to me was enough discouragement. If not that, I have strong head in my own self that I will stand to the end. I would have gave up because of what many other women, said to me in the process. And there are older women who have gone ahead of me. But thanks to Mom Manti Umar, who has always been holding our hands and the hands of many other young girls. So back to the challenges that, young women and women generally are facing. I think number one is that domestication of women's duties. So I finished, a lot of people have reached out to me to ask me, okay, after this your undergraduate degree now, what's next? And me, I'm like, oh, I'm looking at masters and PhDs. They're like, aren't you going to get married? I'm like, hello, sir. I'm still, hello, ma. I'm
you're
still,
married.
I'm still very young. Why are we talking about, why do you think that because I am a woman, when I'm done with university, the next available
Marriage.
job is to get married and bear children? See, marriage alone is a responsibility, and it tells more on women than men. The man will get you pregnant and off they go. You're the one to carry 9 months. You're the one to have cravings in the midnight. You even try to disturb them, they'll be vexing that they have job to go to tomorrow. So I have to be mentally, emotionally, physically ready for this kind of, tough job, because that's another job on its own. So why are you domesticating my duties? Another thing is the patriarchal nature of society. So there are already roles, like she mentioned, that everybody feels like it has to be a man. No, this particular job, like president of Nigeria, we're not even ready for that conversation. A lady came out the other, I think it was Hadija something, right? She was in Akwa Ibom at the time for a conference, I think Citizens Outreach. She came out under another party for president of Nigeria, and everybody were just laughing at her, mocking her for coming out. Do you even think in your wildest dream, even in 100 years? I'm like, hello. She is human as much as the man is.
Man itself.
So why are we thinking that she does not have the capacity to rule? So there is already this patriarchal nature of society that we already feel like some things are for the men. That's why when I'm speaking about gender equality or equity, I speak of equity, right? Because equity is giving everybody what they deserve. So if I'm a woman, I deserve to be president. If you're a man, you also deserve to be president. You a man, you also deserve to be vice president. Let's also talk about it, right? I'm not supposed to be domesticated or put in that box. So first of all, women are boxed, right? And I'm saying to the women, you are the ones allowing yourself to be boxed, because she came out, right, of that box and became president. I came out, stood my ground. I was one of the 4 or 5 contestants that were cleared to stand. The only female. Everybody came to me. They are going to screen you out. I'm like, hello, I don't have skeleton in my cupboard. Nobody's screening anybody out, right? So women are already boxed. Women are already in this patriarchal. So one of the things we have to intentionally do is sensitization. Because you cannot effectively create a change if the person that you're changing does not agree with that change.
With that change.
So we are to intention. Madam President, you are there now. I think you have enough job to do by creating sensitization and ensuring that when you're leaving the office, there will be like 3, 4, 5 women who are rising up to say we're also contesting for this position. And you're not helping them out because you're a woman. You're helping them out because they have the capacity to take over from you, right? So we are saying, say no to patriarchy, say no to domestication of women's duties and what they can do. The women were saying, you too, rise up. And also finance. Let's not even take that out. If I'm contesting, thanks to, the governor of Akwa Ibom State, I want to agree with her in this light, because there are many, other ways that I don't want to talk about now, yeah? So he made the form for women councillorship free. So if you're a woman and you're picking up the form, just go your way. Take the form and then stand the elections once you have the capacity. So thank you, Your Excellency, but I think there is much more to be done. The National Assembly at the last count were fighting over the 35% affirmative action for women. Why do we have to do that? We are saying that some women will not still have this opportunity, right? Yes. If we keep saying, let it be the normal way, give us that 35% affirmative action for women. So that is to say that if we are having 5 senators in Akwa Ibom, at least one of them should be a woman. That's what that law will do for us. So we need a legislative backing. Don't tell us that, oh, men are contesting, there's no legislative backing. You know these things, that there is already that patriarchal system. We are saying, give us a legal backing. So if we have 5 senators that are male in Akwa Ibom and there is no female, we can go to court, we can drag that party, we can drag whoever is involved until there is a woman, because we have the policy that backs us up, right? So I'm saying we need legislation, we need that sensitization, we need to demystify that patriarchal system and domestication. If your sister is a woman, when she finishes university, allow her to pursue her dreams. Don't tell her to go and get married. Mommy and daddy, don't tell her when she's bringing man. She will bring man when she's ready. I think I've said quite enough. Thank you. I have so much more to say, but with limited time.
Thank you very much.
Okay, let me add to that. I think overcoming fear of failure or criticism, because the women, we are so emotional. And then some women will not really want to contest, so that if they fail, they might not be mocked or something, or depressed. Yeah, so that is the more reason they might not really want to come out for a certain position. But I think emotionally, psychologically, mentally, during my election, though I was so stressed, I was actually ready. I was ready for the outcome of it, because I think the pressure was quite enormous. But I want to advise the women don't be discouraged. Don't have the fear that people will mock at you. They will criticize you or ridicule you. Stand your feet, face the race, and then you win.
I mean, what's the worst that can happen? You either fail or win.
Beautiful. And life goes on.
Okay, so to everyone that is listening to these 2 amazing women, stand your ground, take that position, because it takes the commitment from one's heart to step above the rubble. And before we end this particular section, I would love to have just briefly a farewell message to the audience.
This farewell message, I don't know how short it can be, but then I want to say to every woman out there, whether young or old, there's still time in your hands, but you don't have much time, right? So I'm saying, rise up to the occasion. The world is your stage, and build capacity, because when it gets to where it gets to, you have money checked, you have connection checked, you have the zeal checked. Do you have capacity? So while you have time now, learn as much as you can learn. If you want to be chairman of, let's say, your local government tomorrow, don't wait until it's time to be chairman. Start in the university, in your department. Even if they are electing class rep, volunteer yourself that you want to serve there. They are doing faculty elections. Don't sit back and say, hey, it's not only education you came to this life to study, right? So also position yourself out there. Learn as much as you can learn. Learn what it means to politique. Right where you are, start now, because the journey to tomorrow begins today. So,
ma'am,
thank you.
Your goodbye message?
All right, to all the ladies out there, I want to encourage you, start from where you are, from your family, from your immediate house, from your room. Start to do something outstanding, different. And then even the church, wherever you find yourself, don't be limited by the gender. It does not mean anything. Just rise up and do your very best, and then the Lord will be with you. Thank you.
Okay, wherever you are, as a woman, as a young woman, the opportunity to excel begins with you. I love to end this particular session with a quote from one of my favorite TV female presenters. She's the richest in the world, Oprah Winfrey, and she said that no matter where you are or no matter who you are, the ability to triumph begins with you always. And so we are ending this particular section. Thank you very much for always staying tuned to Uproot the Issue podcast. We love you and we can't leave it, but we have to stop for now. Bye.